everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Holistic Health Happy Hour. Yes, it is our second episode. We did the first one as a pilot test in a small group and glitches, but we made it through. And we focused on the Capricorn new moon. And now we're going to tie in how that Capricornian new moon is showing up with this Leo full moon. I'm Julie Sherwood, and my lovely co-host.
I'm Maria Schumacher. Hello.
Yes. Welcome to our party. So
Yes.
we've got some notes, and you'll see us looking down every once in a while because, we're not slick in Hollywood, but this is who we are. So welcome to our party. Welcome to our happy hour. By the way, grab your favorite beverage if you're taking a listen. So
That's right. That's right. The more you drink, the better we sound. So let's do I guarantee.
By the way, that wasn't in the notes, but I love it. Awesome. Awesome.
It should be.
So shall we dive in, my friend? What you got?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Shall we show the chart? Let's show the chart of where the full moon actually is, just to prove that no, really, it's in Leo.
Yes. And for those of you who may be slightly new to constellational astrology, it's not going to match what the tropical Western people are saying because they don't use the sky. Bless their hearts, be that as it may. We use the sky. So there you have it.
And in the real sky, the sun, get my little pointer. Can you see when I move my pointer? Ta-da-da-da.
No, but I can. Let's see. Oh, yep, there it is. There it is.
There it was. Let's see if
I see it.
Okay. Okay, there. Can you see it now? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the sun over at the end. Oh, it's in Aquarius, right? The symbol for the sun and the hashtag for the sun are kind of over here.
Yep.
9 degrees Aquarius.
Yeah, so if you look
the moon.
I was going to say, if you look next to the sun right there, next to the little circle with the dot in the middle, if you're not familiar with all the symbols, you can see right next to it, it says 9 degrees Aquarius. So if you're not sure where that little marker goes, that's just a little side note in case you're having a hard time following where that might be.
Over here. Yep. So the sun is actually right here on the wheel. Directly across from it is the moon at 20 degrees Leo, which is right there.
For new people, the new moon is when the moon and the sun are together in the chart, conjunct, and the full moon is when they're exactly opposite to each other. So that's how you can tell when you look at a chart too.
Yep. So that's why we can get the full moon is in Leo, even though the sun is in Aquarius.
Exactly.
Yay.
So we had the new moon was in Capricorn when we actually had the new moon. I believe it was February 9th. And the sun has since moved into Aquarius. So even though the sun has moved into a new constellation, we still have the seeds that were planted during the new moon of Capricorn that we're working with during this lunar cycle. So now we're at the culmination point of really looking at how those seeds got planted for Capricorn. The Leo moon, what shall you say, my friend?
Yeah, so for a Leo new moon that just came off, or I'm sorry, a Leo full moon that just came off of the Capricorn full moon. Capricorn new moon, we were talking about bringing our bright ideas into reality, right? What we want to do is manifest all of those good ideas that we had when the moon was in Sagittarius. And we want to make a plan for doing that because we're Capricorn, the earth sign. We want to go step by step by step and make sure that our plan can come into reality. So our full moon, halfway through that cycle, is a check. We have to progress check to see how we're doing. So the moon will light up our progress. And the nice thing is we don't even need to necessarily check. It just does that for us. So it'll sort of show us where we are. It's also the peak of action. If you think of the full moon as the time when, all right, we're starting to bear fruit, we're starting to blossom, it's starting to happen. And we ask ourselves, how is it going? And because it's Leo, it's going to be talking about our enthusiasm level. Like, all right, how's it going? Are we still excited about it? Are we still having fun? Is it still a, is it still a cool thing? Are we still enjoying ourselves? So that's essentially what we're going to be asking, is just looking at, all right, what did we initiate in at the full moon? I'm sorry. Oh, what did
I
we
do the same
initiate
thing.
at the new moon?
Yes.
Which in this case, it was Capricorn. So it was a plan for bringing ideas into manifestation. And then at the full moon, we go, all right, how's that going? And because it's in Leo, and how are we feeling about it?
Are we
Right?
still passionate? Like you said, enthusiastic. And when we did the new moon episode 1, I think we used the garden metaphor. So, especially with Capricorn, it's like you scratched out on a piece of paper what that garden was going to look like, what you're going to plant in what rows and how many and all of that sort of thing. And the first quarter moon, you start digging the holes, putting the seeds in, laying it all out. And then at the full moon, you start to see, are those sprouts coming up? Do I need to weed the garden a little bit? And am I really happy about what I've done as far as the plan? Maybe I need to adjust it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when we come to that third quarter moon, we're going to be ready to harvest all those lovely seeds we planted in the process of creating that garden under Capricorn. So, yeah.
And depending on where your natal moon is, you're going to be kind of looking at this whole picture from a unique angle. So say, for example, like I said, the new moon started in Capricorn. It's full now in Leo, but your personal moon is in Aries, right? So Aries is all about like getting moving, getting going. So you're probably going to be asking, okay, is going fast enough? is going fast enough? Are things moving? Are things moving? It's going. Yeah, I'm enthused about it. Yeah, I want it to happen.
And do I feel confident about it? Because that Aries wants that confidence, that warrior feel to it, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. And again, the where your natal moon is, we will each feel this slightly differently because
Mhm.
the moon is that emotional perspective, that deep internal perspective. So we're going to feel it very differently depending on where our natal moon is.
Well, and that's why they say, the Vedic certainly say that the moon sign is most indicative of the person, the personality, because it is personal. It's all interior. It's all about me. So all of this moon are different aspects of the self. But where your natal moon is, it is going to color this process more than anything else. So again, people with Aries moon are just going to want it to get moving, and they're going to want to check their confidence with the whole process.
Right.
If you're like, oh, I'm not sure about this anymore, or it's not happening fast enough. I think that Aries moons, they're just going to be confident about it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a matter of, is it moving fast enough for me?
Well, and you throw the fact that the moon is in Leo and the natal moon that we're talking about is in Aries, you got fire behind there.
Yeah.
And that Leo can be a little bit less planful about it. It's like the kid that just goes running out the front door and then turns around and realizes that it's snowing, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so that's the thing is it's going to be that those people with the moon, natal moon in Aries are going to have to really kind of watch that enthusiasm and making sure that you don't go jumping off the cliff in the process.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. That you still have to wait for, even if it doesn't feel like it's happening fast enough.
Right.
Just enjoy that excitement.
Yeah.
Enjoy that excitement of, oh, I'm so excited about it. That's a really good thing.
Yes.
People with Taurus moon are probably going to be checking to make sure that their little seeds have all the dirt they need, have the water they need, just that the plan has the physical resources it's going to need to come into fruition.
And I'm a Taurus moon, so I can relate.
There it is.
Right. And we also want to make sure it feeds our senses because Taurus moons have an emotional need to feel like it smells good, it looks good, it sounds good, it has visual appeal, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to plant my little garden, but I want to know I got pretty flowers in there too, right? As well as the fertilizer, the water, the dirt, and all of that. And the Leo moon may ask me to be a little bit more playful about it, have some fun with it, use your creative passion and don't be so caught up in the resource piece of it. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
Leo is going to allow you to enjoy the process of creating, along with, all right, I got to make sure that it has everything it needs. And there's an enjoyment factor in a Taurus moon too. I mean,
yes,
Taurus and Venus, right?
yes.
There's the Venus influence in there, and she's going to want you to enjoy it as well.
And not be so stubborn about things too, because there can be that bullheaded stubbornness too. Like my garden is planted the right way it should be, and you guys should like it. And I might be self-expressive about it, Leo,
Mhm.
right? Don't pick on
Mhm.
my garden. My garden is exactly the way I want it. I'm gonna root myself in that, right? So
That's
we
right.
Taurian moons can do that.
Yay. So anyway, yeah, you guys are going to be the resource check-in here. Gemini moon is probably going to review, all right, what do I think about this? I'm going to just be reviewing my plan. I'm going to be reviewing, all right, um, do I have any doubts? Do I have any flaws? Ooh, am I still sure about this? That's why I said Aries, I don't think is going to be so much, do I still want it? That's a Gemini thing. That's where the questioning comes in. Aries definitely wants it. It's just is either not happening fast enough or I'm too excited for words.
And
Gemini can have doubts.
exactly. And do I have all the information I need? I need to collect all the data. I need to get all the data. I need to get all the
Yeah.
information. It has to feel like I've gotten everything. Moon, feel, Gemini, right?
Mhm.
And if I'm going to create something, I want to make sure that I know I have not the Taurus wants to know they have the resources. The Gemini wants to know they have the right resources.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do I
Yep.
have
Yep.
the
Yep.
right
And
spade and the right dirt and the right fertilizer? Yeah.
mhm. So yay. Cancer. How do I feel about the plan? So if your natal moon is in Cancer, you're going to be doing an enthusiasm check, but how do I feel about this plan overall? Does this plan still feel right for me? Do I still feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
with the plan? That's going to be a big question.
And you might be a little reserved about it too. You might kind of hold it more privately rather than sharing it with everybody. Gemini wants to exchange the ideas with people, and Leos want to just tell the world about it. Whereas the
Mhm.
Cancer's like, I'm gonna hold this plan a little bit because I don't want to be criticized. You're gonna hurt
That's
my little
it.
Cancer heart if you do that, right?
Yeah, that's it. Gemini might be out there talking to other gardeners about, hey, what are your great tips and
Mm-hmm.
tricks for making a healthy plant? If we're going with the garden metaphor,
Right.
um, Cancer might have planted a moon garden.
Yes.
I don't want anybody to see it but me at night
Mm-hmm.
behind it, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, and it has to feel good emotionally.
Yes.
It has to give me some sense of emotional satisfaction.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That you may not even be able to put into words that you're just so you would be a Cancer moon would be the type that if somebody asks you, all right, well, how's this plan coming along? Fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or you might incite them to cry too.
Yeah. How's your
You
plan
know,
coming along?
yeah, it's not going how I
Yeah, yeah,
wanted it to. And yes, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's okay. But Cancer is going to be all about how does it feel?
Yep.
How do I feel about the plan? Am I still comfortable with it?
Right. Right.
Leo moon, if your natal moon is in Leo, you're just gung ho, right? You're like jumping around
Yep.
the
Yep. Getting
garden,
all
going, I'm
excited and
so
enthusiastic.
happy. Yeah.
Yep.
Look, my thing came up. Yay.
Yep. Yeah, and may even be a little bit more like the child, right? A little more haphazard about it, but not in a bad way, but just so excited that you're digging up stuff and you're pulling up stuff and you're moving things around and you're laughing and you're playing in the process. It's
Yeah, stuff is happening. Look, stuff is happening. This
yes,
is the
yes,
coolest thing ever. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you might put some fun, silly things in that garden too, It's
Sure.
yeah,
And
it's
you might
all
want everybody to see it. You're like, look, I
me.
am making something.
Yes, yes, me. It's all about me. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, you know what? It's funny. And I will say this. I think that Leos in general get a little bit of a bad rap. The Leos that I've read for, it isn't necessarily that they want to be the center of attention all the time. Because Leos, for the most part, still have still have a private, quiet side. Like
Yeah,
they just, leave me alone when I want to be left alone.
right.
But I think that's the thing. It's that Leos want what they want when they want it.
Yes,
And when they have something to say, they expect to be heard. And
yes.
when they don't want to say, they expect to not have to talk. Right.
They're in
So,
control.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's the thing about it. So I think that Leo is going to be making sure that it's happening exactly like it wants it to happen, and then just rejoicing in that. And that's the beautiful quality of Leo, because
Yes.
when things go right for Leo, they can just rejoice.
And they're proud, that proud
Yeah.
lion, right? And feeling like they've really accomplished something. I think is really important there too for that Leo.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And they
Yes.
may also be the leader in everything too, that proud leader. Let me
Mhm.
show you how to do this garden,
Yeah.
see what I
Here's how I
did.
do my garden. Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep.
Enthusiasm check. Enthusiasm double check.
Yes,
Virgo. Virgo moon, unsurprisingly, if your moon is in Virgo, you are going to want to check the health of your plants, right? So where Taurus wanted to make sure that your creation had all the resources that it needs, Virgo is going to want to make sure that it's healthy, that the leaves are green, the root, do the roots look good? If I have to look in the roots, is a blossom coming up in the right way? You're going to be doing a health check of your creation, whatever that is.
and that would include things like making sure you've paid attention to the details. Are all the little rows in the garden perfectly straight? Oh, if they're not, we got to fix that over there. So, and can I improve? Do I need to give more water? Like you were saying, Maria, the health of the plants. And it's
Yeah.
in a very detailed kind of way with
Mhm.
good intention. I want my garden to serve others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my plan. I want the thing that I'm bringing to fruition. The other thing about Virgo is that when it comes to a manifest creation, Virgo can like communicate with that creation. Like a Virgo moon can talk to plants. A Virgo moon can talk to animals. And I think that carries over to a certain extent in whatever a Virgo moon is creating.
And
It can directly communicate with the creation to do a health, it can talk to the cells in the
yes.
body. Yeah.
Yeah, and and again with the moon, there's an emotional need to do this.
Yeah.
It's a personal drive, not the sun's kind of drive, but that internal intrinsic need. I really need to do this. And Virgo is also the stars of harvest, right?
Yeah.
The wheat in her hands. So there's that Virgo and moon wants to make sure that I'm going to be able to harvest all of this and get the most out of it that I
that
possibly
it's
can.
that it's bountiful, and that it's
Yes,
plentiful, and that it's, yeah, sustainable,
yes,
and and that the not just the overall health, but the emotional health of the
yes,
creation
yes,
is still there.
yes,
So yeah, the Virgo is going to want to really check and make sure that the overall health of the creation is
yes,
there.
yes.
Yay. Libra moon. Who do we
Hello,
know
my
the Libra
friend.
moon? Libra moon is going to be worried that the creation is offending people. Let's be honest. That's what Libra moon is going to do. It's going to be in a puddle in a corner, beating with anxiety that what they want to bring through is going to just piss everybody off.
But on the flip side,
Guess who's a Libra moon? So
but on the flip side, you may want to make sure that my garden has the balance of the right things I'm trying to manifest and plan for. Do I have enough A and do I have enough B? Libra, the scales wants that balance, but also to interact with others in the process. There's an
exactly.
emotional need to be connected to at least one other in
Yes,
this creative process.
that's right. Yeah, Libra moons are going to be concerned that the right people are involved with this.
Mm-hmm.
That the garden is never just for you.
And I think the
Garden is
Leo,
always, and not just for, but also by something else. It's
yes,
just, yeah.
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 And I think the Leo full moon is calling for that Libra natal moon to perhaps do this with maybe the eyes of a child or somebody who can be playful
Mhm.
in the process as that other in partnership with the Libra.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so, yeah, the Libra at this point will need to bring a playmate in, somebody
Yes,
who can play the
yes,
Libra. Mhm.
yes, yes, yeah. And somebody to also just say, hey, can't you just let it go a little bit? It's all right, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Everybody will be fine, you know, that
Kind of. Are you sure?
kind of stuff. True that, true that. Oh, and then there's Scorpio. Hello.
Scorpio, yes. Here we had where Leo was the enthusiasm check, Scorpio is the passion check. How much do I still want this?
Hmm.
How passionate am I about this plan still? And I better be, because if I'm not committed to this, then something's not going to grow, right? Scorpio moons have to be passionately committed to what they're building.
Hmm. And they may also have an emotional need to figure out if there's something that's hidden in this process, right? Is there something that a rock I didn't turn over
Yep.
in this making of this Capricornian plan? You know,
Mhm.
did I get down to all the nitty gritty stuff? Oh, is there something really bad and dark about planting this particular, plant, right? It's,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
what are it's almost like, what are the hidden things that could come up and destroy my creation?
I had a vision of the poor Scorpio moon out there digging the garden, and they dig up all the bones in the garden that they didn't know were there. It's like, oh crap.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep.
That would be Scorpio, to leave it to Scorpio to find find the hidden Native American graveyard
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
but that would be it. And but more than that, though, again, Scorpio moon really needs to be passionate about what it's doing,
Hmm.
or frankly, it isn't doing it. It's
Right.
just if Scorpio's passion for it isn't there, Scorpio is going to move on.
Yep. Yep.
So it's going to be the passion check. Is your plan, are you still passionate about your plan? Do you still want it?
Right.
And
Right.
have
Or
you
maybe,
found any hidden,
or their plan may be a secret too.
could be.
Yeah. They the Cancer holds it close just as an emotional protective thing, whereas the Scorpio may be, I'm planting something that I probably shouldn't tell you about. I'm going to hold it close, right?
Yeah, no, I want this to be a secret.
Yeah, yeah,
I want this to be. So it could be, and that's okay.
yeah.
That you'll need it to be secret, and we shouldn't be ashamed of that, Scorpio.
No, no, no. It may be a reason to keep it secretive until it's time to harvest it.
Yeah, yeah. Ophiuchus, our 13 sign moon.
What came to me on that one is
Mhm.
is being creative in the planting of the garden so that it heals others, right? I mean, and I know that there's the facing the fears of what this project might be bringing. Are you worried about it? Are you afraid that it might not fulfill you? But I
That's
also
more
think,
what I got too, is like
yeah,
healing the fear
yes,
around actually bringing this through.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
But it could also be the medicine woman, right? It's the medicine woman who's out there planting that garden. And again, we're using the garden metaphor, but you can translate this across any kind of project that
yes.
brings a healing. Maybe you're building a healing practice. Maybe, you're looking at different ways to bring different healing modalities into your life or whatever it happens to
And
be.
yeah, because your moon is in Ophiuchus, whatever ideas you had in Sagittarius, when the moon was in Sagittarius, whatever ideas you had probably had that healing flavor in them.
Yes,
Just because your moon is in Ophiuchus, you're going to want to create things. Your heart, your inner self is going to want to create things that are healing, that bring forth wisdom, that, that are a bit, but that are mysterious, but also that answer mysteries, that solve
yes,
mysteries, right?
yes. Scorpio discovers the mystery and Ophiuchus solves the mystery.
Bingo,
Yep.
bingo, because there's that Scorpio fucus right on top of another. So they are connected. So that's kind of what we got for an Ophiuchus moon, is that you're going to be not so much a health check of the creation, but making sure that your creation still matches your healing tendencies, right? Still answers those mysteries.
Yes.
Sagittarius moon wants to make sure that the creation is still true to your vision.
Yeah, that the Leo playfulness doesn't detract too far from the vision.
Right, right, because you will have had a grand vision of
Yes.
something. God
And,
bless you, Sagittarius.
and I also see, yeah, that vision comes from wisdom too, right? Gemini is again the one that just gets all the data, wants all the
Yep,
detailed information, the logical stuff, but the Sagittarian moon wants to know that there's wisdom in this.
exactly. Well, Sagittarius has processed it, right? It's
Yeah,
gone through that Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Fucus processing.
right.
And now it's okay. Now, how can I apply that? How can I take all of that wisdom that I got from the dark side of the chart and just take it? I shouldn't say
Yes.
it that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
The processing center.
yeah.
And
And
and move,
is this wise to continue with this? Does it still fill the vision, right? Like you were saying.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And not again, this is a fire sign. So there's some wisdom there, but there's more expansion there. I,
Yes.
I'm willing to expand a little bit beyond wisdom in Sagittarius, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pushing my boundary all the time. So if I've got wisdom right here, let's see what's beyond it. I want to go into something I maybe haven't quite done yet, but I know. So yeah, that optimism, that vision.
Right, and maybe do a little more research, in-depth analysis of, not the Gemini analysis, but again, the wisdom analysis, the
Right.
expansion of, I know it was this, I had an idea I was gonna plant this in the garden, but I'm gonna expand my thinking a little bit more and broaden what I was considering. And I might just do a little more research to figure out how I can expand that thinking, open up my thoughts, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
big picture even, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
There's a big vision behind whatever you wanted to create, Sag Moon, and now you're going to make sure that things are still true to that vision.
right, right.
Yep.
And tweak as needed, right?
And tweak as needed because you can do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Capricorn moon is going to want to make sure I'm still following the plan. I came up with a plan in Capricorn and I'm still following that plan. Right. So it's different from Sagittarius, where I want to stay true to the vision. Capricorn wants to be true to the plan.
The architecture, the building of it,
Yeah.
Sag
Whereas it,
sees the garden, whereas the Capricorn goes, okay, did I measure? Do I have the four squares? Yeah,
right. Or if, if Sagittarius is like, okay, I'm heading to Nineveh. And Capricorn goes, okay, am I still on Route 59?
right,
It's
right,
great. But right now I
exactly.
need to be on Route 59 heading east or
Yes.
wherever Nineveh is.
Yes. Did I
So,
measure exactly right? Did I plan for how many things I want to harvest? Do I have a plan for the harvest, right?
mhm,
Because we're going to
mhm.
return back to that Capricorn new moon placement at the end of the lunar cycle, which it'll be in Aquarius, but that's a side note. You want to make sure the plan is ready to go for all parts of it.
Yeah. Am I still on plan?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Aquarius moons. Does the plan meet the interests of all concerned? Right? If is what is actively being created, is that beginning to address the needs of all concerned?
Right, the greater good of all. And keeping in mind that in most cases, the Leo transiting full moon will be opposite the Aquarian natal moon. So you're going to have a little bit of an emotional tug of war between me, know everybody else, me, know everybody else,
Yes.
you know? So
Yep.
it's gonna be calling for those of you with those Aquarian natal moons to make sure that there's a checks and balances there, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it all about me or does this really help everybody else? But I can still be enthusiastic about it as I bring it out to the collective.
Yes, you can. And you have to be aware of what it's bringing
Right.
to the greater collective. It is not just all about you. So just Aquarius again, and there's a reason why it's across from Leo, right? Is because, or at least it's partly across from Leo, because Aquarius can need that playfulness. Aquarius can get awful serious and awful detached.
Yes.
And so, you know, it's up here seeing things from a place of detachment where no, you really do need to also feel into things and get some enjoyment out of what you're doing. So yeah, that opposition is keenly felt right now. Um,
Yeah.
especially if your sun, I'm sorry, if your moon is near the sun.
Yes, absolutely. And that can also lend itself to the emotional need to have some freedom in the process and
Yeah,
to really do it in a way that authentically speaks to who you are. Not do it because somebody else said it had to be this way, but the fact that you want it to be this way because it aligns with who you are out in
right.
the world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That sun could put some fire behind that, some
yep.
combustibility.
Could really. So, you know, and it, yeah, it might be important to know that for some people, this full moon is conjunct, or come on, Maria, you can speak English. This full moon might be opposite their moon too,
Yeah,
right? You might
yeah,
you might like be having a personal new moon at the same time as the full moon is happening.
right, right,
And that's kind of a thing. So
right.
yeah, you'll be personally like starting a new phase and also halfway through another phase.
Yeah, so there's going to be some real tug of war energies there, and I think those Aquarians really need to just take a deep breath, and
Yeah.
really check in with themselves,
Well, and
in
I
terms
think
of that balance.
lean into the Leo side because you're going to
Yes,
be heavy Aquarius right now. If you've got
yes,
your natal moon and the sun and Saturn
yes.
in Aquarius, you're going to need some Leo to help you, you know, lighten up a bit.
Play with
Ironic.
play with it.
Yeah.
Do it playfully. Think about how your 5-year-old self might have done it, right?
Yeah.
Just color outside the lines a little bit. You can still have the plan, but maybe, color outside those lines. Yeah. And have some fun with
Or
it.
enjoy the process, I'm for sure.
Yes. Yes.
And last but not least, Pisces moons.
Deep
Go, Julie.
feels, man. Deep feels. It's all yeah, and I think also it connects to that compassionate side, that connection to the all that is. This might be somebody that plants the garden that speaks to the heavens, right? That really, and also there's a creative element to Pisces too. Does it really allow you, not the Leo childlike creativity, but more in that you've come through the vision of Sagittarius, you've come up with the plan and all of that. Now do you have the creative juices flowing? Can you expand out into beyond just who you are?
Mhm.
And let your intuition guide you here too. Those Pisces moons have very, very strong intuition. So
Yes.
do the gut check, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah.
And I think that there's also, again, because you have a Pisces moon, the ideas that you wanted to bring forth were going to be, that you wanted to manifest, were going to be of your deepest interests,
Yes.
right? And I think of the deepest interests of your spirit, right? It's of spirit in general. So you're going to be like having ideas on a deeper level. What you're bringing forward is probably more artistic
Yes.
than anything. Whatever plan, whatever thing that you want to manifest is most likely coming through in the form of art,
Yeah.
right? In the form of art. So we can almost drop the planting metaphor because I doubt it.
Well, they're seeing beyond that, right?
Right.
There's that. Yeah.
We're seeing Leo, though, who is, well, Leo moon can help a Pisces moon feel a little more secure
Hmm.
in its creation, as you said. And the Pisces moon is going to want to try to, this could help Pisces feel a little more secure in what it's trying to bring forward, because what it is trying to bring forward is probably something that is not going to be understood by the rest of the chart. You
Right.
see, it's going to be something completely different. It's going to be from somewhere deep and personal. And expanded and unique.
Yeah, and the other piece that I'm getting with that too is, Pisces also calls you to surrender to the flow of it all,
That's
right?
right.
Put down the plan from Capricorn. The Leo moon is asking you to play with it a little bit
Mhm.
and to surrender with the flow of it as it unfolds, knowing that
Exactly.
security that you were just mentioning. The plan is in
Yeah.
place. It's all good. Just let it come.
I
But
mean, even way more so than Aquarius. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
it's Aquarius might be acting for the greater good all the time. Pisces just lets all that come through.
yep,
It comes through right from spirit. So we're not necessarily thinking and planning. We're just surrendering and letting things come through. And you sometimes just need that fire, just need that Leo to
right,
help you feel secure enough in yourself to allow that to come through, and also just to enjoy it, because
right,
you get to enjoy it, Pisces. You
right.
get to enjoy what's coming through. It doesn't all just have to be mysterious and emotional. It can also be fun. It can also be an awful lot of,
Leo, call up
yeah,
that Leo energy, let that Leo energy come in. And the other little cautionary note, I should say challenging note is the Piscean desire to escape in all of it, right? It's like, I'm going to obsess and I'm going to, just escape into all of this and ignore everything else that's going on around me.
yeah.
Either in a way that you become obsessed with it, or also in a way that you're so worried about surrendering to it that you just escape from it all, right?
Exactly. That Pisces is the most likely of all these to just not try to want to manifest something at all.
Yep,
Like,
yep,
I don't even want to bring anything into manifest reality. It's just so much more fun to swim around with it
yep.
in spirit.
Up
Yeah.
here somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. Up here, out there. God, trying to bring it down to earth is just such a downer, man. It,
Yes, exactly,
yeah, it
exactly.
is. So, not to knock Pisces, because if it weren't, in some ways, if it weren't for the Pisces moon, there would be no imaginative ideas. You've
Right.
got the most imagination of all. Sagittarius will push the envelope, but it takes Pisces to have real imagination.
Yes, exactly. Creative
Yep.
imagination. That's
Creative imagine, and we all need that, and we all
right.
need that. The thing is that Pisces isn't necessarily working toward anything tangible. It's just expressing spirit. It's just
Yeah.
expressing, it's the spirit of things.
Yes. Well, my dear friend, that brings us around to all 13 of the constellations in terms of how people may be experiencing this full moon from their natal moon perspective. And I really hope that that really helped give some idea of how you out in that world are listening to us and personalize it a little bit. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
Taurus moon. This is how I'm going to experience it. And what we're saying is not all encompassing, of course. These are just kind of the flavors that might come through, and you may experience it a completely different way. And where we post this recording, if there's a space for you to comment, such as on our Facebook Radical Astrology group, pop a note in there. Say, hey, I'm a Taurus moon or I'm a Gemini moon, and I did not experience it that way at all, because it would be really great to understand how you may have felt it.
exactly. Because this is holistic health happy hour, right?
Exactly.
We're here to try to figure out remedies for things with people. When I'm talking about Libra moon, I have Libra moon,
Yeah.
and
I,
I say that almost as if, I have herpes. It's not an always fun thing, right? Libra moon is hard, people. I am
yes.
here to tell you. And so, what about the Libra moon's creations that are always a little bit fraught with anxiety of how other people are going to react to them? What about, you know, um, Gemini moon that is always going to be fraught with a little bit of indecision because I just want to make sure that I've got all the data.
Yep.
What if I need to see every fabric sample that was ever created by any fabric mill on the planet before I can pick one for my couch? And if I think I may not have seen one somewhere, I cannot decide. I
Right.
am here to tell you, right?
Right.
And
That's so true. And and there was something that was dawning on me as I was thinking about us getting together for our recording today, and thinking about the holistic health aspect of it and different ways we can work with these energies. And what kept coming through to me is, the fact that this full moon is in Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun. I kept thinking about the solar plexus chakra, right? And that chakra is the I can, I do, I am able. And so if you're finding that you don't have that momentum, you don't have that sense of being able to carry through that plan, or you feel stymied by it, think about how you might feed that energy. So you want to look for anything that feeds the color yellow, because the solar plexus chakra is fed by the yellow light frequency. Yellow foods, bring those into your diet. Surround yourself with sunshine as much as you can. If you live somewhere where there's not a lot of sunshine, just imagine, being on a beach with the sun radiating on you. Just infusing that into your energy consciousness may help feed that energy that might not be ready to go and do, or it feels stuck. So that's one way to work with that energy.
Yeah, that's no matter where your personal moon is, the moon is in Leo.
Right.
And so, if you find that your personal moon is stuck in its dark side, you always can lean into the power of the moon.
Right.
Help that. That's the holistic remedy. And yeah, when that moon is in Leo, we've got playfulness, we've got courage, we've got self-confidence.
Yes.
Right? We feel and I think courage, these might be sun things, but just from emotion, the emotion of I'm capable.
Right.
And
right.
I get to do this, right? I get to do this. I deserve to do this.
Yep. Yep. And that goes to that solar plexus chakra energy. I can do it.
Exactly. And I enjoy doing this,
Yes.
right? How do I know this is the thing to do? Because I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I don't have to get stuck questioning it too much. I don't have to get stuck worrying about how it's going to affect the future. I don't have to get stuck worrying about if anybody else likes it. Do I want to do it? Yes, I'm doing it. And that can be very healthy sometimes. So.
Yes. Yes. Well, my dear friend, I think we're about at the top of the time here. So if you want to pull off the share screen, and then we can say goodbye to everybody. And again, wherever we're sharing this, I think we're going to put this one on Radical Astrology on the Facebook page, and maybe a YouTube channel or so. So just stay tuned. And if there's a space to comment, or you have a question or feedback, yeah, I really felt it that way, please let us know.
We love questions.
Yeah.
We love feedback. Yeah.
Yes, for sure, because it helps us learn the journey too. And of course, depending on all the other elements in your chart and the different things that are happening in terms of the transiting luminary bodies talking to your chart, what we're saying is not all encompassing. So we're all going to feel it differently because we all have a unique blueprint in our natal charts. So anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you, my dear, lovely co-host, Maria. Welcome again to our series of the Holistic Health Happy Hour, and stay tuned for more episodes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.